You are lying down, but you are not resting. Your body is still, your eyes are closed, but your mind is replaying the day. That conversation that did not go well, that email that felt sharp, that moment when you felt dismissed, overlooked, misunderstood. The small hurt that you brushed off because it seemed too minor to acknowledge. The bigger hurt that you swallowed because there was no time to process it. And now, here in the dark, it is all coming back, not louder, but heavier. Because you are trying to sleep and sleep will not come. Not because you are not tired, you are exhausted, but because you are carrying the day into the night, and the weight of what hurt you is blocking your rest. This prayer is for you, for the one who cannot let go, for the one lying in bed with a mind that will not quiet and a heart that will not settle, for the one who needs permission to release what happened today before closing your eyes. You do not have to carry this into tomorrow. Let me name what you are feeling right now. You are frustrated with yourself because you think you should be over it by now. It was just a small thing, a comment, a look, a moment. Nothing dramatic, nothing catastrophic. So why does it still sting? Why are you still replaying it? Why can you not just let it go? But beloved, small wounds accumulate. A paper cut is not serious, but 100 paper cuts, day after day, moment after moment, they add up. They create a constant low-grade pain that you learn to ignore, until you lie down at night and suddenly you feel all of them at once. That is what has been happening. You have been brushing off small hurts all day, minimizing them, telling yourself they do not matter, telling yourself you are too sensitive, telling yourself to move on, but they do matter, and they have been building. And now, when you finally stop moving, when you finally try to rest, you feel the weight of everything you have been carrying. There is a reason you cannot sleep. It is not insomnia. It is not anxiety, at least not in the clinical sense. It is something simpler and more human. You have not closed the day emotionally. You have closed your laptop. You have turned off the lights. You have brushed your teeth and climbed into bed. But emotionally, you are still in the middle of today. Still holding what hurt you. Still carrying what was said. Still replaying what you wish you had done differently. And you cannot sleep because your soul knows it is not time to rest yet. There is something that needs to happen first. A releasing, a letting go. An acknowledgement that the day is over and you do not have to take it with you. But you do not know how to do that. So you lie here, mind spinning, heart heavy, body exhausted, but unable to rest. And I am here to teach you. Let me show you something about the rhythm of creation. When I made the world, I did not make it seamless. I did not make one long, continuous day. I built in breaks, pauses, transitions. I created evening and morning, day and night, light and dark, work and rest. And the transition between them, that space between day and night, is sacred. It is not just a change in light. It is a change in posture, a shift from doing to being, from carrying to releasing, from striving to resting. And that transition requires something from you. It requires you to lay down what you picked up today, not tomorrow, not next week when you have processed it, tonight, before you sleep. Because if you carry today into tonight, you will carry tonight into tomorrow. And tomorrow you will pick up new things. and the weight will compound. But tonight, I am teaching you a different way. There is a verse you may have heard, but I want you to hear it differently. There is a time for everything, and a season for every activity under the heavens. A time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance. Most people read that as poetic, as philosophical, but it is practical. It is a blueprint for emotional health. There is a time to weep, to feel the hurt, to name the pain, to let the tears fall, and there is a time to stop weeping. Not because the pain is not real, but because there is also a time to rest. A time to let go, a time to close one chapter before starting the next. And tonight, right now, this is that time. The time to release what hurt you today, not to fix it, not to resolve it, not to make it make sense, just to put it down, to say, this happened, it hurt, and now I'm choosing to release it so I can rest. Let me walk you through what you are carrying right now. You are carrying the conversation that did not go the way you hoped. The one where you felt unheard, misunderstood, dismissed. You keep replaying it, trying to figure out what you should have said, how you could have made them understand, why they responded the way they did. Lay it down. You are carrying the disappointment, the thing that did not work out, the opportunity that passed you by, the expectation that was not met. You are holding it close, examining it, wondering what you did wrong, what you could have done differently. Lay it down. You are carrying the hurt from someone's words, the comment that felt like a jab, the tone that felt dismissive, the silence that felt like rejection. You are turning it over in your mind, trying to decide if you are overreacting, if you should say something, if it even matters. Lay it down. You are carrying the guilt, the thing you wish you had not said, the thing you wish you had done, the moment you wish you could take back. You are holding on to it, punishing yourself, replaying it on a loop. Lay it down. I know what you are thinking. You are thinking, but if I let it go, nothing will be resolved. The problem will still be there tomorrow. The hurt will still be real. The person will still have said what they said. And you are right. Letting go tonight does not erase what happened. It does not fix the problem. It does not undo the hurt. But it does something more important. It stops you from carrying it into your sleep. And carrying it into your sleep means carrying it into tomorrow, which means you will face tomorrow already exhausted, already wounded, already burdened by today's weight. But if you release it tonight, if you lay it down before you close your eyes, you give yourself the gift of starting tomorrow unburdened. There is a difference between processing pain and clinging to it. Processing means feeling it, naming it, acknowledging it. Processing is healthy. Processing is necessary. And there will be time for that. Maybe tomorrow, maybe next week, maybe in a conversation with someone safe. But clinging is different. Clinging is holding on to it past the point of usefulness. Clinging is replaying it over and over without resolution. Clinging is letting it steal your rest, your peace, your ability to move forward. And tonight, beloved, you are clinging. Not because you want to, but because you do not know how to stop. You do not know how to release something that still feels unresolved. You do not know how to let go when there are no answers yet. But I am going to teach you. Let me give you permission to do something radical. You do not have to resolve it tonight. You do not have to figure out what to do about the conversation. You do not have to decide how to respond to what was said. You do not have to make sense of what happened. You do not have to have a plan before you can rest. You just have to let go of holding it, because there is a difference between remembering something and carrying it, between acknowledging something and being consumed by it, between knowing it happened and letting it steal your peace. And tonight I'm asking you to put it down, not forever, not dismissively, but temporarily, long enough to rest, long enough to sleep, long enough to let your body, mind, and heart reset. Because tomorrow, if it still needs your attention, you can pick it back up. But tonight, it does not get to steal your rest. Here is what I want you to understand. Your bed is not big enough for you and your burdens. You cannot sleep well while holding on to what hurt you. You cannot rest deeply while clutching pain. You cannot close your eyes and find peace while your heart is still gripping today's disappointments, today's wounds, today's unmet expectations. Something has to be released, and that something is not you. It is what you are holding. So tonight, before you close your eyes, I am inviting you into a ritual, a sacred practice of closing the day emotionally, not just physically, a practice of laying it down. This is the end of the first movement, the naming, the acknowledgement. The recognition that you have been carrying more than you realized, and now the invitation. You can put it down, not because it does not matter, but because rest matters more right now, and you cannot have both. You cannot hold on to today's pain and tomorrow's peace at the same time. So choose. Choose rest, choose release. Choose to trust that letting go tonight is not abandonment. It is wisdom. There is a practice I want to teach you tonight, not a formula, not a technique, but a ritual of release, a way of closing the day emotionally that honors what happened without letting it steal your rest, a way of acknowledging the hurt without carrying it into your sleep, a way of saying, "This was real, and now I am choosing to let it go." And it begins with something simple, naming. You cannot release what you have not acknowledged. This is why you keep replaying the day in your mind. Your soul knows something needs attention. Something needs to be seen, named, felt. And until you do that, until you bring it into the light even just for a moment, it will keep circling, keep demanding to be heard. So let me walk with you through this. Close your eyes for a moment and ask yourself, what am I still holding from today? Not what you think you should be holding, not what makes logical sense, but what is actually there, what is still sitting on your chest, what is still creating that low-grade tension in your body. Maybe it is one specific thing. Maybe it is three. Maybe it is a general heaviness that you cannot quite name. Whatever it is, name it. Say it out loud if you can. In your mind if you cannot. But give it a name. Give it form. Give it acknowledgement. I am holding the conversation that went wrong. I am holding the disappointment from what did not happen. I am holding the hurt from what was said. I am holding the guilt about what I said. Name it. Because what is named can be released. What stays unnamed stays stuck. Now here is the part that might feel strange, but trust me. I want you to feel where you are holding it in your body. Emotional pain does not just live in your mind. It lives in your body, and if you pay attention, you can feel it. Tightness in your chest, tension in your shoulders, a knot in your stomach, a heaviness in your throat. Put your hand there, wherever you feel it most, and just notice it. Do not try to fix it. Do not try to make it go away. Just acknowledge, this is where I am holding today's pain. Because your body has been carrying this all day, and it needs permission to release it too. Now comes the central act of this ritual, the laying down. I want you to imagine, actually see it in your mind, taking what you are holding and physically placing it somewhere outside of yourself. Not throwing it away, not burying it, but laying it down, gently, intentionally. Some people imagine placing it at the foot of a cross. Some imagine setting it down on an altar. Some imagine handing it to me directly, watching me take it from their hands. However you see it, the motion is the same. You are transferring weight from your hands to mine, from your chest to the ground, from your grip to open air. And as you do, I want you to say something, out loud if possible, in your heart if not. I release this. I lay this down. I am not carrying this into my sleep. Say it with intention. Say it like you mean it. Because this is not passive. This is an active choice. You are choosing to let go. You are choosing to trust that you do not have to hold on to everything. You are choosing rest over rumination. But here is what you need to know. Letting go does not mean it disappears. This is where people get stuck. They think releasing something means it will vanish, that if they let go, they are abandoning it, that if they stop holding it, no one will. But that is not how this works. When you release something to me, it does not disappear. It changes hands. You stop carrying it and I start holding it. You stop managing it and I start working on it. You stop obsessing over it and I start moving in it. And here is the difference. I can hold it without being crushed by it. You cannot. You were not designed to carry the emotional weight of unresolved conflicts, unmet expectations, and unhealed wounds into your rest. But I can hold them while you sleep. I can carry them while you restore. I can work on them while you release them. So when you lay it down, you are not abandoning it. You are entrusting it. And there is a profound difference between those two things. Let me speak to the specific fear that is keeping you from releasing. You are afraid that if you let go, you will forget, that the hurt will happen again because you did not hold on to it tightly enough, that letting go means you are weak, naive, too trusting. But beloved, letting go at night is not the same as letting go forever. This is not about forgetting. This is not about pretending it did not happen. This is not about being a doormat or letting people hurt you without consequence. This is about creating a boundary between today and tonight, between what happened and how you rest, between the pain you experienced and the peace you need. Tomorrow, if the situation still needs your attention, you can give it attention. If a conversation needs to happen, you can have it. If a boundary needs to be set, you can set it. But tonight is for rest, and rest requires release. I want to teach you something about the rhythm of a day. A day is not meant to be one continuous experience. It is meant to have closures, Moments where one thing ends and another begins. Morning closes into afternoon. Afternoon closes into evening. Evening closes into night. And each closure requires something from you. Acknowledgement that the previous season has ended. You would not try to have breakfast at dinner time. You would not try to work in your sleep. You instinctively understand that there are rhythms, and respecting those rhythms is how you stay healthy. But emotionally, you have been trying to live without closures. You have been trying to carry every moment into the next. Every conversation, every hurt, every disappointment, and it is exhausting you. So tonight, I am teaching you the practice of emotional closure, not resolution, closure, and there is a difference. Resolution means the problem is solved. Closure means you have honored what happened and chosen to move forward anyway. Here is the practice, step by step, so you can return to it every night. Step 1. Name what you are holding. Say it out loud or write it down. Be specific. I am holding the disappointment from this morning. I am holding the hurt from that conversation. I am holding the guilt about what I said. Step 2. Feel where you are holding it. Put your hand on your chest, your stomach, your shoulders, wherever the tension lives. Acknowledge that your body has been carrying this. Step 3. Lay it down. Visualize placing it somewhere outside of yourself, at the foot of a cross, in my hands, on an altar. Say, I release this. I am not carrying this into my sleep. Step 4. Breathe into the space. Take a deep breath into the place where you are holding tension. Let your body feel the difference between gripping and releasing. Step 5. Trust the transfer. Remind yourself, I am not abandoning this. I am entrusting it. God is holding what I cannot hold, and that is enough for tonight. This is not a magic formula. This is a sacred practice. And like any practice, it gets easier the more you do it. Let me address what might be happening right now. You might be trying this and feeling resistance, like your hands do not want to open, like your heart does not want to let go, like releasing feels more dangerous than holding on. And if that is what you are feeling, I want you to know that resistance is normal. You have been holding on for so long that letting go feels unnatural, unsafe, like you are losing control. But beloved, control is an illusion. You have never controlled the outcome of that conversation. You have never controlled how others respond to you. You have never controlled whether things work out the way you hoped. All you have controlled is whether you carry it or release it. And carrying it has not made it better. It has only made you more exhausted. So tonight, even if it feels strange, even if it feels incomplete, even if part of you wants to hold on, choose to let go. Not because you have to, but because you deserve rest more than you deserve answers right now. There is something beautiful that happens when you practice this regularly. At first, it feels forced, mechanical, like you are going through the motions without really believing it will work. But over time, something shifts. You begin to notice that the things you released last night are still there in the morning, but they feel lighter, more manageable, less consuming, because you gave yourself the gift of rest between the hurt and the healing. You begin to notice that you sleep better. Not because your life has fewer problems, But because you are no longer taking every problem to bed with you, you begin to notice that releasing becomes easier. Because you learn that letting go at night does not mean losing control. It means trusting that some things are better held by me than by you. And that trust, that sacred trust, is what transforms your rest. So tonight, before you close your eyes, before you try one more time to force yourself to sleep, before you spend another hour replaying what cannot be changed, practice this ritual. Name it. Feel it. Lay it down. Breathe into the space. Trust the transfer. And then, beloved, let yourself rest, not because everything is resolved, but because you have honored the rhythm of creation. You have closed the day emotionally. You have transferred the weight from your hands to mine, and that is enough. This is the turning point, the moment where clinging transforms into release, where the weight shifts from your shoulders to mine, where you discover that rest is not something you achieve, it is something you receive, and you receive it by letting go. The final movement is coming. The sealing of this practice, the biblical anchoring, the invitation to make this a nightly rhythm, and the dissolving into the kind of sleep that only comes when the day is truly closed. But for now, simply receive this. You do not have to carry today into tonight. You can lay it down and I will hold it for you. There is an ancient wisdom I want to give you tonight. Words written thousands of years ago that were true then and are true now. There is a time for everything, and a season for every activity under the heavens. A time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to uproot, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance. Let those words settle, because embedded in them is a truth you have been resisting. Everything has its time. And when that time is over, you are meant to let it go. There is a time to feel the hurt, to name the pain, to sit with the disappointment. That time was today. You felt it, you acknowledged it. You carried it through the hours when it needed your attention. But now, right now, that time is over. Now is the time to release, to rest, to let the day close so the night can begin. And you cannot do both. You cannot hold on to today and enter into tonight. You have to choose. And I am inviting you to choose release. Let me show you what it means to honor the time for everything. You would not try to harvest in winter. You would not try to plant in drought. You would not try to dance while mourning or mourn while dancing, because you understand instinctively that there is a rhythm to life, and fighting that rhythm does not change it, it only exhausts you. The same is true emotionally. There is a time to hold on to things, to examine them, to process them, to let them teach you. But there is also a time to release them, to say, this had its moment. And now that moment has passed. And tonight this is that time. The time to weep was earlier. The time to carry was during the day. But now is the time to lay it down. Not because the pain is not real, not because it does not matter, but because everything has its season, and the season for carrying has ended. The season for resting has begun. I want to seal something over you tonight. You have been living as if you must hold on to everything until it is fully resolved. As if letting go before you have answers is irresponsible. as if releasing before you have closure is premature. But that is not wisdom. That is fear disguised as diligence. Wisdom knows when to hold and when to release. And wisdom says, when the day ends, release it. When the sun sets, let go. When your body asks for rest, give it rest, not more burdens to carry into sleep. So I am declaring over you tonight, you have permission to close the day, not perfectly, not with everything resolved, not with all questions answered, but completely, emotionally, with the full knowledge that today is over and you do not owe it any more of your energy. Let me teach you something about sleep. Sleep is not just physical rest. It is an act of trust. Every time you close your eyes, you are saying, I am choosing to let go of control for the next several hours. I am choosing to stop managing, monitoring, solving. I am choosing to trust that the world will keep turning without my constant vigilance. And if you cannot release what hurt you today, you cannot fully enter into that trust, because part of you will still be holding, still managing, still trying to control the uncontrollable. And that part of you that will keep you awake. But when you lay it down, when you practice the ritual of releasing before you sleep, you are not just letting go of today's pain. You are practicing trust. You are training your soul to believe that you do not have to hold everything, that I can hold what you cannot, that rest is safe, and over time, that practice transforms not just your sleep, but your life. I want to give you something to anchor this practice. If you have learned tonight that you do not have to carry the day into the night, if you have felt even a small shift from clinging to releasing, I want you to make that shift visible. Write something in the comments. Something that marks this moment. Something you can return to tomorrow night when the weight feels heavy again. Maybe laid it down, or released, or time to rest. Whatever words capture what you are choosing tonight, write them. Let them be a marker, a memorial stone, a visible reminder that you practiced release, that you honored the rhythm, that you chose rest over rumination. And if you want to return to this practice, if you want to make this a nightly ritual instead of a one-time event, touch the bell. Not as a subscription, but as a sacred commitment, a daily return to the practice of closing the day emotionally before closing your eyes physically. Because this is not just a prayer, this is a way of living, a rhythm, a practice, and it gets easier every time you do it. Let me speak to what you might be feeling right now. You might be feeling lighter, like something has shifted, like the weight you are carrying is not as heavy. And if that is what you are feeling, receive it. Do not question it. Do not analyze it. Just let yourself feel the relief of releasing. But you also might still be feeling the pull to hold on, the resistance to letting go, the fear that if you release it, something bad will happen. And if that is what you are feeling, I want you to know that is normal too. Releasing is not a one-time event. It is a practice. And the first time you do it, it might feel incomplete, uncomfortable, like you are doing something wrong, but you are not. You are doing something brave. You are choosing to trust that some things are better held by me than by you. You are choosing to honor the rhythm of creation. You are choosing rest over control. And that, beloved, is exactly what you were designed to do. There is one more thing I want to seal over you before you sleep. Tomorrow, the things you release tonight might resurface, not because you did something wrong, but because some things need more than one night of release. Some hurts need to be laid down multiple times before they stop demanding to be carried. And when that happens, when you wake tomorrow and feel the weight creeping back, do not be discouraged. Do not think the practice did not work. Instead, practice it again. Name it, feel it, lay it down, breathe into the space, trust the transfer. Again and again and again, as many times as it takes, because this is not about perfection, this is about rhythm. This is about training your soul to believe that you do not have to carry everything, that there is a time to hold and a time to release, and that honoring that time is how you stay whole. I want to close with a declaration you can hold on to. I declare over you, today is over, and you do not have to take it with you. I declare, what hurt you today does not get to steal your rest tonight. It had its time, that time has passed. Now is the time to release. I declare, you are not abandoning anything by letting go. You are honoring the rhythm I built into creation. There is a time for everything, and this is the time to rest. I declare, I am holding what you cannot hold. When you lay it down, it does not disappear. It transfers from your hands to mine, and my hands are strong enough to carry it while you sleep. I declare, tomorrow you will wake unburdened, not because the situation has changed, but because you gave yourself the gift of rest between the hurt and the healing. And that rest will give you strength you do not have tonight. Now I want you to do this with me one final time. Take a deep breath, as deep as you can. And as you inhale, I want you to gather everything you are still holding. Every hurt, every disappointment, every unresolved conversation. Every piece of today that is still sitting on your chest. Hold your breath for a moment, feel the weight of it, and now, as you exhale, release it. Breathe out. I lay it down. Again, breathe in. Gather it. Breathe out. I release it. One more time. Breathe in. Feel it. Breathe out. I trust you with this. Feel the shift. Feel the lightness. Feel the space that opens when you stop gripping. This is what you were designed for. Not constant carrying, but rhythmic releasing. Holding when it is time to hold. Letting go when it is time to let go. And tonight, beloved, it is time to let go. So close your eyes now. Not with your mind still spinning. Not with your heart still clutching. But with the peaceful knowing that you have closed the day. You have honored what happened. You have named what hurt. You have felt what needed to be felt. And now you have released it, not into nothingness, but into my hands, and my hands will hold it while you rest. My hands will work on it while you sleep. My hands will carry what you cannot carry, so rest, beloved. Rest deeply, rest fully, rest without the weight of today pressing on your chest, because you have laid it down. And tomorrow, when the sun rises and a new day begins, you will not face it carrying yesterday's weight. You will face it refreshed, restored, unburdened, not because everything is resolved, but because you honored the rhythm. You closed the day emotionally before closing your eyes physically. You gave yourself permission to rest, and that, beloved, changes everything. I am with you in the releasing, in the resting, in the sacred practice of letting go. I am with you, and what you lay down I pick up, and what I hold you do not have to carry, and that is enough. Sleep now, not with clenched fists, but with open hands, not with a racing mind, but with a quiet heart, not carrying today, but trusting me with it. Sleep, the day is over. You have done enough, you have carried enough, you have held on long enough. Now let go and rest.